Hello everybody, this is going to be the first chapter in this crazy twin flame story that I find myself in, and it really got me down at one point. So it was suggested that I start telling my story because maybe it could help some other people. The things that happen and that you put up with, and it's difficult. Everybody thinks that the twin flame relationship, yes, is supposed to be the most ideal and the greatest thing ever, but the truth is, it is one of the hardest things. Very painful, very painful. It's really hard. I still wouldn't replace it with anything else, but no, we are not in union. We were together before, and tower moments happened. But sharing my story might help other people, and I figured I'd do it while I'm doing makeup. So, pardon me, I'm not a professional YouTuber. So, I met him when I was working in an office. I had my own photography studio, everything was great, and then things started becoming really wishy-washy, and I have 2 kids, so I really needed some kind of steady income. One of my friends worked at this office. I have customer service skills. Cool. I was answering phones for like 2 weeks, if that, just with regular customer service people. And it was, the clouds parted and fate stepped in. And they came and asked me, would you please be the executive receptionist upstairs? I'm like, all right, cool. Anything to get out of the cubicle farm. So I went up there and trained and dealt with the executives and special guests and attorneys and whatnot. So the very day I was done training, which was another like week or 2 later, this man comes and asks for the CEO of the company, and her secretary is not answering as I'm trying to get him back there, and it looked really bad. I kept hearing a giggle, like right over there in the little waiting area where the seats were. This guy looks up and tells this high-powered attorney that's there for the CEO, oh, she's new here. I was so angry and so embarrassed that someone thought it was funny that it looked like I didn't know how to do my job. I could have killed him. Turns out that jerk was my twin flame. You know, I'm not one of those people. Don't get me wrong. Let me backtrack. Someone's good looking, they're good looking. Okay? Like, everybody knows this. But usually and this is my bad for being stereotypical, but it was just in my experience. Drop dead gorgeous men with long curly hair and bodies to die for, with very deep voices and all the charm in the world, usually don't have any kind of substance. All the women are falling all over him just as he's trying to give me a work order to sign so he can leave. If everybody wants you, then I don't know, I'm sure you know it. I'm sure you take advantage of it. I thought he was shallow before he even actually had a conversation with me, and that was my mistake. But I wrote him off immediately after he embarrassed me in front of that attorney. And I really didn't honestly know he was flirting with me. Day after day, I had no idea. Because it didn't dawn on me a man so beautiful would ever flirt with me. Why? Do you see the women walking back and forth in the lobby? They're like, come on. I know. From that moment on, he came to do jobs in that office. He was an electrician. Side note, my dad's an electrician, my grandfather's an electrician, my cousin's an electrician, my uncle's an electrician. My mom, when she finally heard of him, said you couldn't pick anybody with a different profession. Nope, not Sorry, Mom. I didn't know until it was too late. So he came to do jobs in that office and was flirting with me every day, to the point that he told one department, I believe it was the IT department, have you seen that chick up front? Little did he know I was tight with the IT department. So they came and told me what it was that he was saying about me, asking about me and all that stuff. And I did not hesitate to put his ass on blast the next day he came in. We would just sit and have conversations, but everybody said, oh, he was flirting with you, he's flirting with you. I'm like, no, he isn't. We're just speaking to each other. And later on, he told me that he really liked me because he thought I was attractive, one, but I was funny, and I spoke to him like he was a regular person. Most women didn't do that. They were, okay, whatever. Turns out the man had substance. He had a vocabulary. He, very smart, really funny. I did really like his voice. I like a deep voice, I do. Still didn't think he was flirting with me, even after the IT department came and said he asked about me. So that's why I did not hesitate to try and embarrass him. He came in the next time and I said, so, before he could say hello, I said, so, you're over there asking about me in the IT department. And he turned 15 shades of red, and then, oh, I thought those were my homies. No, I work here, you do not. What? So we had a good laugh about that. And then he went and scolded everybody over there. But yeah, I wasn't hesitant to tell him like it was. I didn't know how to speak to someone like him, considering the superficial problems I had to begin with. But I still didn't think he was flirting with me until about a week later, he gave me his phone number. And I did not hesitate to take it, but I didn't use it. And the fact that I even took it was just already beside myself, because I don't condone cheating. I just don't, especially if you are married. And he's married. He's married. Like, what the hell is wrong with me? I took his number and put it in my purse. I honestly thought I threw it away. I swear I threw it away, but whatever. Thanks, universe. They didn't get along. He cheated on her all the time because he wasn't happy, which is not an excuse. But they were already talking about divorce. I did not call him after I got that number. I swear I threw it away. Like, about, I'm gonna say, it felt like a month. I know it wasn't a month. It was maybe like a week or two. It's probably a week, but it felt like 2 or more. He didn't come by the office. Turns out he was on a cruise on a vacation, and that he had other jobs to do, and he just didn't come by. On the way to work, I'm digging in my purse one morning in rush hour traffic. I hate driving in rush hour traffic. I didn't know how much until I started working from home later on. Anyhow, I was digging through my wallet at a stoplight, and this piece of paper pops out of some pocket that I didn't even know was in that wallet. And there's his phone number. And I sat there staring at it for so long that I missed the light and got honked at by a few people. But I texted him after I got to the office, and he goes, who is this? And I told him who it was, and he goes, that's funny because I have a job to do there later. I'm like, okay. So he started coming to see me like every day. And I knew he had a wife. I knew he did. It doesn't matter if they were unhappy. It doesn't matter any of that stuff. It was just something that made me say, this is the person for me. And I still couldn't believe that he liked me at all. A month of us fooling around and him coming. I mean, he would drive across town to find out. He'd go, when is your break? Because I got 2 15-minute breaks and I have my 30-minute lunch break. And I would spend them in the parking garage making out with him. So I mean, he would come to my house before I had to go pick up my kids from daycare or after school programs. I would drive straight home as fast as I could, and then he would show up, and it was very eye-opening. I didn't know that was, I know now, the ultimate bedroom encounter. Twin flames. Mind you, never heard of twin flames still at this point. So about a month after this was occurring on a almost daily basis, because he would come on my 15-minute break just for me to run out to the parking garage, and I'd jump in his work van or he'd jump in my car, and we would just make out like kids. I mean, we couldn't stop talking and seeing each other like as much as we could. It was crazy. It was crazy. It was fun. It was fun though. And every day I would look myself in the mirror and say, what are you doing? He's married. I figured it would never go anywhere. It would be a little fling, and then he would just disappear. A month after this was going on a steady basis, I had been given a free night in a hotel room, since I booked the hotel rooms for the people flying in for the business. And I talked to the hotel, the people that ran the hotels a lot. So they gifted me a room. It wasn't like near a beach or anything, but I mean, free hotel room, cool. He managed to get a side job or something on that weekend, and he came to the room, and it was the suite, and we got food, and we were drinking, and we had the best time. We had the absolute best time. And he told me he loved me. He asked me, where were you before I was getting married? And we've been comparing like life notes. We had been in the same place at the same time. I can't tell you how many times. It's crazy the way our lives paralleled so much. I find out in hindsight that he really had been looking for someone like me, and I still couldn't believe it. He told me he loved me, and I didn't say anything because I'm like, bullshit. That's bullshit. But also, perfect track record. Never told a man I loved him first. So I already knew that I was head over heels for him, but I was trying to hide it because I guess fear of getting hurt. I never wanted to put myself out there first, because if I was hurt, like they were like, ugh, it didn't feel the same way, then I would feel really stupid. And Aquarius, don't want to talk about my feelings and whatnot. I can, if I trust you. If I don't know you that well, it's hard for me to, I feel all this, and I've only known him for a couple months. We were just having a fling. What do you mean you love me? But I knew I did, and it was the most bizarre thing to me. Well, come to find out, he left that night, and I took all the alcohol and food with me. Went home. I didn't talk to him until Monday. Because the day before, that Sunday, the next morning, because we were there Saturday night, was his wife's birthday. He was hanging out with me in a hotel room, getting drunk and slow dancing and doing what we do, and telling another woman he loved her. And his wife's birthday was the next day, and they were supposed to be going out that night that he was with me. I found that so fucking foul. Still didn't deter me, but she found out. She found out. And I still feel guilty about that. He had to tell me that Monday that we can't speak anymore, and it was heartbreaking because I spent all Sunday going, I love this guy. Oh my gosh, it'll just work out. I don't know what I'm doing, but just to get it all ripped away from me again, because she said, if you don't stop talking to whoever, I will divorce you, and I'm taking everything. They didn't have any kids. They had dogs, and they had a townhouse, but her parents' name was on it. But then, I started being harassed after that. Just a little, but it's still, I never said anything back because I was fucking up this woman's life. And even though as much as destiny was it, there's still karma. Whatever. whatever. So we stopped speaking, and I said, okay, this is for the best, because he's taken, I don't know what I was doing. Like, I've seen all those stories. And I've seen, you know, he always chooses a wife. He always chooses not you. No matter who you are in the story, it's always not you. It's always the other person, which is just my luck. So I was really upset for a few days, kind of moped. And I'm like, I've never been heartbroken like this over a dude. Even like who I thought was the love of my life when I was a teenager. Like that first real love, that puppy love that you're just sick over when it ends. I couldn't get out of bed. For days. I finally said, what is wrong with you? So about a month later, is it the day before Halloween? It was like a day or 2 days before Halloween. One of my girlfriends says, I have been to this psychic reader and I want to go back again. She's having a special and I'm going to go in person and I'll pay for your reading if you come with me, because I don't want to go by myself. And I was just like, well, okay, I guess. I mean, I've always wanted to get one of those, but really, come on. You know, I was all kind of doubtful. So I went with her. She did her reading first, and I walked in going, okay. I was like, wow, she's got a lot of rocks. It's crystals. Honestly, the place was pretty dope. Her area in her home, because she was doing readings out of her home, she had some really cool stuff. And I want to go back and visit her in her place. I have not in a while. She's become a really good friend, actually. So I walked in, and I assumed that my friend had, since she gone first, had said some things to this psychic and was giving away some things just to set me up. But I never told my friend that much about this guy. And it had been a good month since it had passed. So it was like something that I just kind of kept to myself because I knew that what it looked like. And, you know, it was against everything that I already, you know, believed and was about. So walk in, love the place, sit down, and this reader says, who is in front of you? Like, you have somebody all in the front of your mind. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, because I really didn't. I didn't think that I thought of him that much. You know, he was kind of fading. I would think of him every now and then and be like, damn it, what did I do wrong? Maybe I should have been more. You know, how we all do. After a breakup, if you want to call it that. I mean, she hadn't even pulled a card. She hadn't shuffled anything. My butt barely touched the seat. I was like, I'm sorry. And she started rattling. And I was like, lucky guess, but okay, cool. And she started doing the reading, and a couple cards came out, and she goes, I think this person is your twin flame. I'm like, what are you talking about? And, you know, because I've heard of soulmates before and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. She goes, hang on a second. Went and grabbed another deck, did something else. She goes, came up again. And then she goes, this person is your twin flame. And I had to go do all this research. She told me a little bit about it. And I'm like, what the hell? And she said, my best advice, you're not speaking to him right now. And he's right here. And I'm like, what the? I didn't realize she was pointing to her third eye. She told me, you haven't spoken to him. I'm like, no, he's married. What am I supposed to do? I mean, I can't do anything. She goes, oh, he's thinking of you too, a lot. And I'm like, trying to trust a stranger that she just, you know, this is a foreign concept to me. I question everything. I'm just supposed to take someone's word that I've known for 5 minutes and do what she says, which is to call him and tell him that he is my twin flame. Of course, that's totally perfect sense. So I struggled with this for like 3 days. And I finally said, you know what? Fuck it. I don't know anybody he knows. And if I look like a crazy person, then we'll just go back to not speaking. And okay, thanks. And it's been fun. I texted him And he called me and I told him about what it was that I had learned. And he goes, he was floored. And he believed every damn word that I told him of what it is that I had learned, because he said he felt the same way. I'm sorry, what? And this concludes chapter 1.